all this time and you cannot move because you got one of those pandemic rates that's so damn good that you don't know what to do, but you got equity in the house and you got to get more space. Well, I've got some solutions for you. Stick around and we'll talk right about it here. Who am I? John Kramer, real estate mortgage broker. Been doing this in Seinfeld, went off the air. The reason that I am doing this right now is because you people are the suffering crowd. Who are you? You are what we call a move-up buyer. What's the move-up buyer got going on for them right now? Well, they're usually somebody that bought something that they didn't really want that they had to get because they had to have a place to live and, it was probably your first home. Could be your second home. There's another one that's a suffering mover out there as well, and that would be probably the person whose house you want to buy is going to be the move down buyer. So we got to see if we can match up any move up buyers or move down buyers. Is that going to, really make any real difference here in 2025? Let's find out. Again, John Kramer. I wanted to take a moment here to sponsor our program here by Kramer Consulting Group, my company. Who are we? We are a 21-year in business as of this year, real estate mortgage brokerage and real estate investment firm. We buy and sell, create notes, buy and sell properties. I am what you would call a professional buyer. I am going to be able to tell you things when you buy, when you sell, that frankly, there's other agents probably that could. I don't really know too many of them. I'm not trying to disparage them, but most of them they've been in the business as long as I have. They haven't done as many deals. If you've been in the business as long as I have, you probably aren't in the business anymore because there isn't any business really for most of us out there. Why am I still doing good in business? I'm here to serve. And my client is the one that nobody wants. I'm basically the king of Misfit Island. So if you're somebody that doesn't fit in the box, and there's quite a few of us, then, you found yourself at the right place. And I encourage questions. Now, what am I here to sell? I think I'm pretty forward about that, right? I'm a real estate mortgage broker. You're in trouble. You're either trying to get in a house or you're in a house, not sure how to get out of it, or the economy's got you. And everybody's telling you how great the economy is, right? Is the economy great for you is the question. We can all be having different economies at the same time. There's the overall economy and then there's our personal economies. Now, people in the real estate business and homeowners are not doing so great. You don't see too many moving vans. You're not seeing too many signs. Nobody's really excited about going to get that damn near 8% rate again. Now, that is actually one of the reasons that I'm wanting to share this with you. What am I trying to share here? Well, what if I told you that you could move? You could take some of your equity, enough to put a down payment on a new home, and you would be able to get a small amount of money from that home to be able to make a difference in the house that you're buying. What am I saying here? Well, what if I showed you a way where you could sell your home for more than you could sell it any other way, and you would be able to actually have the benefits of that sale help you out and take a few $100s off of your home loan? Sound crazy? Let's see. Look at the numbers. So if I sound like a total lunatic because I'm telling you that you could sell your house for more than what you can sell it for and you were one of these expired buyers, or you could qualify for a house when you weren't able to before, what are you talking about here, John? Are you full of shit? Yeah, that was the right time to use that word. Here's the reason I'm not. It's something called creative real estate. It used to be very popular back in the day. Now, one of the reasons it really became into play was, you may have heard back in the 70s, we had this guy named Jimmy Carter who drove up inflation. Go figure. You know what happened? Interest rates went up. You know what didn't happen? People were still able to afford their homes. Even in the state of California, which is always an easy state to kind of tell when a market is going to crash. How? What's the easy formula? Stick around, I'll tell you some more. Now, back to my original story, and this is what I got to do is try not to forget because I'm getting a little long in the tooth here. Ain't no spring chicken anymore. But what that comes with a lot of experience, a lot of just stories, a lot of things that I will share. We will have I'll have moments. I'm just trying to reach out right now because I know I can feel it in my soul that you're out there struggling right now. It is just about time for that mortgage payment. The ones you haven't been able to make that payment. You got till the 15th, and then, well, John, no, we really got till the 16th, and actually this month, we got till the 17th, except for you got 28 days in this month. Uh-oh. So yeah, you can make your payment as late as the 17th this month, and then you have 11 days till the next payment's due. But John, I still have 15 more days. Sure, but that's not exactly a good formula. But I'm going to get my tax refund. Okay, so you're all set. Then why are you watching? You're good. So if everything's fine, and if you haven't tried to sell and you weren't able to get whatever it is that you wanted and everything was great with your home buying and home selling experience, then you may just want to stick around to see all the other people and their suffering and how they've went through some things. Or if you're still here, maybe I can help you out. Okay, you haven't gotten to the punch, John. You took way too long. Well, we'll edit that down. So now, what's this big mystery that you got, John? Why aren't you telling me? What the hell? You know I got things to do. You already told me how screwed I am, so obviously I don't have any time to listen to your garbage. Come on, spit it out. Wraparound mortgage. Wraparound mortgage? What the hell's that? Yeah, wraparound mortgage. All-inclusive trust deed is what it is called. It became very popular in the 1980s because as bad as those interest rates were, they got even worse in the 80s when Ronald Reagan took over because he had to unravel the nightmare that Jimmy Carter left for him. Sound familiar? So, what am I saying? I'm saying that, is it a great year to buy? Is it a great year to sell? People got to do what they got to do. This is a year that people will do what they need to do. And if you do not need to move, you will not be moving. And I'm not suggesting that you do. But if you are struggling, you have to go. You're in a bad spot. The payment's too much now. Or, whatever your scenario is and you're stuck. If you're stuck, leave it in the comments what you're stuck about. And I am working on a few courses, shameless self-promotion, but I'm really here to serve and to help. And the first course, actually, because it is the first course, I'm going to do a small pilot, and I'm going to let the first 10 people that sign up when I put the link in the description, we're going to go ahead and give you a free training. And why is it going to be free? Because I'm learning to on this particular one. I'm going to have to be able to put it out. And for me, I have integrity, so I'm not going to sell you something until I know that it's done correctly and it is worthy of your money. And otherwise, what is going to happen is you're going to either have a great, simple, no problems and everything's wonderful for you. You're going to find the perfect house. You're just going to be there and you're going to be qualified and no problems. You won't need any agents. You won't need any loan officers. You're all set. Cool. So if that's you, I hope it is you, honestly, because that's a good life. And you know what? I'm not concerned because, you see, for me to be able to help a certain number of the people, that means society has to be working and the other people, like something has to be going right? There's one of the tricks. Now, because, I had a hell of a time in the 2008 thing, but that is when I learned. Problem was, I was one of them. I will never forget. I prayed to the porcelain god. And I prayed and prayed and prayed. And I basically prayed, and you know who came? Either nobody or people trying to smell blood in the water and trying to pick at my bones. So, that said, that's not going to be what I do for you. What I realized when I got healthy again is that I am that person I was praying to come help me. And I'm also pretty good at all the other stuff. As a matter of fact, there's not very many things I'm good at in this world. This is kind of it. Like, I can't even really make these videos well, like, as you can probably tell. But what I can do is I can solve your real estate problems. Why don't you give me a try? Right now, as I am, if you are seeing this, then you're going to notice there aren't a whole lot of, I've been around a while because I've been doing this since Seinfeld went off the air, as I mentioned, but I am not a very, what do you call it, experienced YouTuber. I don't have the little buttons or any of that stuff. I will. Well, it's not my main goal. My main goal really is to serve. It really doesn't matter how many subscribers I have and everything else. If you think about it, for what I do for a living and what the home prices are, and I'm not going to apologize for getting paid, but you have to realize I do a lot of things like this and a lot of other work in between to earn that. Now other people, maybe they have people call for them, maybe they, I don't know, but here's what I know. I know how I operate. And if you would like to work with somebody who is genuine, I'm not even scripted. This is where. Now, that doesn't mean it's going to always be like that, but I just felt it was very important to reach out to. I don't stumbling a little bit with the words, but we can clean that up in the. And I'm mumbling a little too. So here we go. Thank you for giving us a shot here, and we're probably going to cut that, but the reality here is, if you need help, we can help you out. Back to the content. We had some interesting things come up here. We had a situation where we have a seller, can't sell, end up with an expired listing. So then they really need to sell, though. And the problem is they have to go, and so they don't have a lot of time. They got to get top dollar, so they can't take this lowball offer from a cash investor. They're not comfortable with, the another system here, and I wouldn't call them a competitor, but another person in the space offers, kind of the subject to, right? And a lot of people aren't comfortable with that. Now, there are ways to mitigate it. Chase has a couple of different ways there, and I always call him Chase. So, therefore, I just not really plugging him, but as far as I can tell, good guy. The system is all legitimate. It's one of the things that I teach. I like to be on the buy side for that, just like he's teaching people to be, because But at the same time, if you're somebody who is in trouble and you are behind, that is actually a viable solution for you. There, you could. We could modify the loan, get you current, and then you could. I wouldn't do that. I would sell or finance, and here's a big reason why. Because you can set your own rate. How about that? You'd be like, John, I'm paying at 7% over there. Well, why don't you charge 7%? Well, I still got a 3. Yeah, but now you have a blended effective rate that's lower. What do you mean? Just do the math. It's math. Now, this one might be a little confusing, and so what we're going to have here is, say we have a 2.99 and $300,000 on your existing home. Okay. Say you're going to sell it for $500,000 because they went up so ridiculously high. Now, you're going to, maybe you want to give this person some incentives or whatever to get them in and quick. One of them is no bank qualifying. How about that? You are the bank. And this is why we're consultants. I write paper, so I write these loans, and then I can sell them on the secondary market if you want to sell the house. You can also learn about partially selling your note, and that way you can get the money out of your house to do a down payment, and then you can collect on the spread, and then effectively, and let's say, I don't want to give some crazy number, but it's not unheard of to have a $300, $400 spread, right? I mean, so let's say your payment's at $1,500, but over there you're able to get, let's say you're able to get 1,000, your payment was 500. I'm not sure, but let's say you're getting a couple $100 spread. Well, now that effective rate essentially comes over to you, and you're able to actually lean on that prior payment. Now, there is one thing to be aware of, and that is what's called a acceleration clause. Okay, so technically the bank could call the note due. And one thing that we know about these, okay, is that if it is a portfolio or an investor loan that is not, say, in the Fannie Freddie realm or with the Fannie Freddie type investors, you are potentially definitely at risk. Although they most likely have an assumability. There's usually ways around those ones. Now, when you're dealing with the other ones, they're really easy. First off, they started putting a lot of these into the modification agreements that they had when everybody went into the forbearance plans. So, with all that said, you might be able to take it over. And even if you're not able to take it over, we are able to have a few safe vehicles. The safest being the Illinois Land Trust that Alan Capone made famous. I know I'm throwing a lot of things out there at you, but it's important to know that you have some options, especially if you were somebody that dealt with a realtor, couldn't sell your house, and now you're still sitting there. Then you go to the loan officer and they don't know anything. And you got all these people. Nobody's got any answers for me, man. That's why you're here. We are to answer people. I'm the solver. This the only problems in life I can solve are yours. Can't seem to ever solve mine. So bring them on. Let's get them solved. Because the way I do good is by helping you.